This, for me, is heaven. I love it here.
So do we.
Have you ever dreamt of starting over and turning your back on city living?
Let's do it.
Exciting.
Of giving up everything you know to make a brand new life in the country?
Love that view. And there's our house.
In this series, I'll meet those who are bravely leaving their 9-to-5s and selling up to chase their dreams.
This is my last big adventure. I'm going to enjoy it.
Cheers.
For a new life.
Of moving to the great British countryside to start their very own business from scratch.
It's definitely doubling everything.
For a year, I'll experience their brand new lives right alongside them.
How high do you want to go?
Yeah, that's good.
See up close the huge challenges they face.
It looks like the apocalypse has been and gone.
We're frozen solid.
That's a big hit in the pocket.
This is our running water.
If this doesn't work, we've got to walk away.
But I'll also discover the massive rewards.
Yes! Fully booked. This is a good sign.
700 for today.
That is wicked.
And when I return the following year,
Are you open or aren't you open? What a transformation.
I'll find out if all their endeavour achieved their dream, new life in the country. This time, I'm in Scotland's Highlands with its rugged landscapes, dramatic scenery, mountains and lochs, to meet Ivonne and Alan,
Look at this.
a couple who've decided to give up everything and move from the commuter town of Crawley in Sussex to the remote Scottish Highlands.
Oh my God, here we go.
To a new home they bought online before ever setting foot in it.
How scary or exciting was that?
My sister won't even buy a pair of shoes online, and I've made one of the biggest purchases of your life.
I'm going to spend a whole year following their life-changing adventure as they move 650 miles to set up a brand new tourism business from scratch in a remote corner of northeast Scotland.
We've never run a business before. This is completely alien.
I'll discover what drove this couple in their 50s to sink everything they have into 2 luxury holiday lodges.
I mean, this is going to be an expensive job. It will cost us thousands.
And find out if they have what it takes to make their dream of a new life in the Scottish wilds a reality.
If this doesn't work, we've got to walk away.
Yeah.
I'm here in northeast Scotland to meet a couple who traded in their 9-to-5 lives in Crawley for this.
A Scottish Highlands dream in Kyle of Sutherland, 650 miles away. For the past 19 years, Alan and Ivonne have lived in the busy commuter town of Crawley. Alan working as a head of supply merchandising for global retailers, and Ivonne as a food nutrition teacher. The couple met in Crawley as single parents in 2003 at a school rugby pitch.
My first wife passed away, and then at a very similar time, Yvonne's husband then left her, and we ended up being the only single parents at the rugby. And it kind of like was, would you fancy a coffee? Should we have a bacon sandwich? Well, do you want to bring the boys around to watch a movie? And you said, yeah, and you'll bring the chili and the red wine. And we actually never looked back from that moment.
Oh my goodness me, we had fun with that first few years, didn't we?
Yeah.
I think when you've been really sad, because both of us had been such a sad phase in our lives, didn't we?
Yeah.
And then we both came together and everyone could see we just laughed. You laugh again, you smile again.
The pair married 2 years later and lived together as a reconstructed family until the kids left home. But things were very different from when they first met. Alan worked long hours commuting into London daily, and Ivonne worked 6 days a week at a state boarding school. They barely saw one another. That was until March 2020, when COVID and lockdown hit the UK.
Our lives before lockdown were all work, work, work. Just before Christmas, we were just not seeing much of each other.
Then lockdown brought them back together.
We just love being together, and we just love each other's company and being a team and doing things together. We just love it's just how we are. We're just soppy romantics at heart. It's just being together, and I think that comes from because it is our second marriage.
With the global lockdown, supply chain manager Alan was made redundant, but these two romantics started to dream of living and working together.
It was kind of almost like a gift in some respects, just being able to have that time together. And we're thinking, what do we actually want our life to look like?
Dreaming of combining their love of the outdoors with Ivonne's passion for hosting and cooking into a tourism business, they trawled the internet for inspiration. And they found this. A 5-bedroom property that comes with 1.8 acres of grassland and woodland, surrounded by the Kyle of Sutherland River and countryside. The dream is to build self-catering lodges, with Alan offering bespoke tours of the area and Ivonne using her cooking skills to run courses and offer dining experiences. So, without ever having seen it in person, and before they had sold their house in Crawley, they gambled everything and bought their new home for £415,000 straight off the internet.
We've put every penny that we've got into this, and we've borrowed for some family and friends to help get us through. And basically each month from what we bring in, there's a sort of big deficit. So there's just a tiny bit of savings left. If we eke it out, it should last for the next three months.
To make their dream a reality, they've paid £415,000 for the house in Scotland with all their savings and loans. Their Sussex house is on the market for £500,000. Once their Sussex house sells, they'll clear mortgages and loans and be left with £250,000 to buy, build and install 2 lodges. But until then, with outgoings of £4,000 a month and only the one salary that teacher Ivonne's bringing in, financially, it couldn't be tighter. The day has arrived for Ivonne and Alan to take the plunge. They're making the 650-mile journey into the unknown.
That's Dorham Castle Hotel.
Where they've spent almost £500,000 on something they've only seen on the internet. And finally, after an 11-hour car journey, it's the moment of truth.
Oh my God, our house is down there!
Oh my God, here we go.
There's our house, honey. Oh my goodness, it's beautiful. I just love that view. Wow. Oh my God, that's just beautiful. Beautiful. I just love it. And there's our house.
Let's go see.
Hi, front door. Ready?
Ready.
Yeah! I can't believe it's ours. Look at that view. Can't wait to get the business up and running.
It's wonderful. It's just, it's out of this world.
Cheers,
Cheers, darling.
Here's to the dream.
Here's to the dream.
Here's to hard work.
Here's to Scotland.
And here's
to Kilmore.
and to our future.
And to our future.
But there's a catch. Their future here is not going to happen straight away. Ivonne can't leave her teaching job until the end of the school year, so she can only stay for the night. On Monday morning, she's back to her job in Sussex.
I'm assuming everyone's ready to go. Let's get this done and I'll stop you halfway through. Well done, Year 10. Let's go.
And living in the empty Crawley house that they need to sell.
A plastic fork, and that's it. That's all I've got.
Alan's alone with his microwave pizza.
It smells good. I don't think it's very wholesome, but it's hot.
And they're living 650 miles apart.
We know this is a journey. We know this is what we have to do, but it's tough.
It's really tough being here without Alan.
With Ivonne down south, I've made the 650-mile trip up to this remote part of Scotland to see how Alan's getting on alone. They've definitely found a place away from it all. An hour north of Inverness along winding roads, I eventually reached their new home, nestled in the hillside.
Alan.
Hi, Ben.
Look at this. I mean, Alan, this speaks for itself. I'm imagining this is a bit different to Crawley.
I don't think this could be more far removed from Crawley if you tried. It's almost polar opposite, literally.
I mean, this is what it must be about. I know you're starting a new job, but you've got this whole landscape.
The whole landscape to explore is amazing, and this place is such a beauty. It's just great to lose myself in my thoughts here and just think about what we're doing, how we're doing it.
See, a lot of people might feel a bit daunted by coming to a place like this where the weather is going to be a little bit more extreme.
I'm really excited about how the seasons work here. Down in Crawley, you've kind of got 30-degree summer and you've got rain all winter.
I'm going to whisper it. The rain is coming. You're not going to escape the rain here.
While Alan's being optimistic about his new surroundings, I want to know how Ivonne is coping hundreds of miles from Alan and their new dream life.
Hello, Ivonne.
Hi, it's lovely to meet you.
And what drove her to gamble everything they have on something they'd never seen in person.
I feel very guilty and embarrassed that I'm in your home and you're obviously not.
No, I'm in the old home.
For many people, the biggest expenditure you will have in life for you guys was done sight unseen, just with a virtual tour. You bought this whole house. How scary or exciting was that?
One of our friends said to us, my sister won't even buy a pair of shoes online, and you've made one of the biggest purchases of your life, having not even been in the house. Absolutely terrifying and absolutely exhilarating at the same time.
I'm going to paint a picture of what I'm looking at now. I probably don't need to remind you, but I have the most extraordinary view in front of me. Snow-capped mountains. It's pretty magnificent. Are you missing it?
Yeah, very much so. Very, very much so. I know that that's Alan's absolute favourite spot, and it was wonderful over the time that I've had up there. But I can still count on my hands how many days I've had up there.
I don't want to add to the burden, but you have the pressure of a new business and the risk, I suppose, of what both you and Alan have embarked on, which is very exciting, but for some people, quite a scary moment.
There is risk involved. You know, we have to live, we have to survive. That's why I'm down here for the next 6 months, because we still need a salary. So the bills have got to be paid in the short term. You know, those 6 months, we've got that time scale. And by that point, the business has to be up and running then. There's no option. It's got to be running.
Coming up, the adventure begins.
It's scary, but it's exciting.
They have grand designs, but financial reality bites.
I'm selling loads of our stuff on eBay.
We are in an awful lot of trouble.
It's January 2021, and I'm in stunning Scotland, meeting Alan and Ivonne, who, dreaming of a brand new life in the country and spending more time together, bought a property for almost £500,000 that they'd only ever seen on the internet.
I can't believe it's ours. Look at that view.
They plan to build 2 lodges in their garden with glorious Highlands views and live off the income from holiday lets.
Cheers,
Cheers, darling.
Here's to the dream. Here's to the hard work.
With Ivonne still living and working as a cookery teacher down in Sussex, Alan is showing me where they plan to build the lodges.
Now, I'm assuming that this isn't one of the lodges.
No, Ben, this is definitely not. No, on similar footprint, there's going to be one lodge here.
Yep.
We're going to probably put it into the bank a bit more.
Yep.
And then swivel it around a little bit to look that way.
Yep.
And then the second one will be on where we're standing, and it'll be looking out more across that way.
And what kind of design have you gone for?
So I think they're a bit Scandinavian.
If someone had said to you a year ago that in 12 months' time you'd be walking around the footprint of a future little Scandinavian chalet in northeastern Scotland, would you have believed it?
I'd have said they're off their rocker.
Are you off your rocker?
Sometimes I think I am, but actually it's scary, but it's exciting.
This really is a stunning part of Scotland. I can completely understand why Alan and Ivonne have fallen in love with this place, but it's not an easy location to start a brand new business.
Alan has a big job in front of him. He has to find a company to design and build the lodges and get planning permission, and learn everything about running a holiday lets business. He also wants to offer tours to their guests, but to do this, he needs to get to know his surroundings like a local, and he's exploring the area.
Finding these places, finding these little gems is really important for the business going forward. To see our guests and help them see these things that other people haven't seen. I'm looking forward to the late summer to watch the salmon jumping up here, literally leap up the falls, and also apparently, according to the locals, of which I'm one now, you actually swim in the pools down here in the summer as well.
While Alan's getting to know their new neighbourhood and working on their new life and business.
Okay, this week is what week?
Chicken week.
Food teacher Ivonne is still living and working down south. She'll be doing this for the next 6 months, but hopes it's short-term pain for long-term gain, until her dream of running cooking classes and dining experiences can become a reality.
So essentially, there's your wings, there's your legs, there's your thigh, and we'll talk about... We're against a huge timescale because obviously my salary finishes in the end of August, so the money comes to an end. I'm just hoping it gives us enough money to survive. Fingers crossed, everything crossed for August, September time, we'll start to have the income from the lodges, and it'll be the perfect scenario. We will be mortgage-free, we'll have no debts.
But to be mortgage-free and to build their business, they first have to sell the Crawley house. They cleared it out in anticipation of a sale, but Yvonne's still living there and roughing it.
Is this for real? Am I really doing this in my mid-50s, blowing up a bed to sleep in? This is good therapy. This takes the frustration out. There are times when it really, really is tough. When you're utterly exhausted, as I have been the last couple of days, and you've got nothing around you. No.
Money is tight. With scant job prospects for Alan during lockdown, they've only one income, and Alan is counting the logs.
I probably light this at best once a week because I've ordered enough wood that if I'm frugal with it, should last the whole winter. And I was thinking that, you know, if it's snowing and there's thick ice outside, then I'm going to have to put the fire on.
They've budgeted £250,000 to design, build and install the 2 lodges. But the Highlands' extreme weather and remote location makes building projects challenging, with only a small window of the year when the weather is favourable that they can build.
I've been talking to the council. I was worried that the land was too hard. How do I get planning permission?
But Alan thinks he's found a company that are willing to take on the challenge once the money from the sale of the house comes through. But having never run a building project before, and with such a large sum of money at stake, Alan is nervous he's making the right decision. So he makes the 500-mile, 10-hour trip to see if the reality fits the dream.
Today is essential. These things are going to be our future. I actually like to get a touch and feel of the product. Hi, Phil. Hi, Simon.
All right, hello.
Nice to meet you both. I'm trusting that with these guys we can say yes, they're absolutely right, and they've got the right product at the right price, and it's going to work on our land. So that as soon as the money comes through, we can hit the accelerator straight away. And does it come with like a set of instructions, I guess like a Lego kit for one thing?
It's exactly like a Lego kit, isn't it?
It is.
You describe it that way.
Yeah, it is exactly that.
I know absolutely nothing about building. This is totally alien. And it's quite scary, actually. When they're talking about the specification of the buildings, it really just goes over my head.
And without Ivonne by his side, it's all down to Alan.
This is just a concept that we've done, Alan, for you. It's a start point.
You're going to have very mixed weather patterns where you are.
Yes.
It does make a difference how the building works. Do you want to take a look inside?
Yes, please.
What's your initial thoughts on the interior layout?
I like it a lot. This is where I also want my wife's input. I'd love to have Ivonne here planning this with me. I want to market these, I want to call them Highland Lodges. And for me, this is more that. No, she's really excited about it, but it does feel like I'm steaming ahead on my own. My first impression is, yeah, I love it.
The lodges will have their own kitchenette, double bed, bathroom, and sitting area overlooking the views. They can actually start to see their dream holiday business becoming a reality.
It's moving on from that fantasy stage to something really real, and being able to touch it and see the mock-up building they've got in there and see the product and how it's made. Yeah, it's feeling real. Can't wait to get it started.
But they can't actually get started until they have the money from selling the house in Crawley. With 2 houses to run and 1 income, money is getting very tight. So tight that Alan has resorted to auctioning things online to make the money they need for food and bills.
I'm selling loads of our stuff on eBay. So it's my stuff, Ivonne's stuff, eBaying hundreds of things.
I'll just grab your proof of postage for that one.
Just one more, thank you.
It's been 4 months since Alan moved to Scotland, but at the end of March, they're still waiting to exchange contracts. Things are getting to crunch point. Ivonne is moving into a rental in anticipation of the sale going through, but they're terrified if it doesn't go through on Friday, everything will come crashing down.
We really hoped that it was going to go through this Monday, so we're now on Friday the 8th, and it's still not gone through. There's been a lot of heartache and a lot of tears and a lot of stress this week because we've now got mounting bills. Since Alan lost his job in February, we've been managing on 1 salary, my salary. Oh, we're still on tenterhooks every single day that we are just going to get that call to say we've exchanged, because then we can start paying bills and we can start putting the business plans in action. We need this house sold. It needs to go. We are in an awful lot of trouble if it doesn't go in the next couple of weeks. It has to go.
Bye-bye, house.
Being apart from Alan at such a stressful time is really starting to get to Ivonne. Today is her 55th birthday. The pair have not spent a birthday apart since they met. For Ivonne, it's particularly emotional.
Hi, honey. Hello.
Happy birthday! Are you crying already?
Because I haven't seen you yet, have I?
Have you got your porridge?
Yes, have you got yours?
Yes, just checking you've actually got your porridge. Mine,
Might be getting cold now.
oh dear. Oh, 55. 55.
Officially, I can take early retirement today.
The river's in full flood this morning.
Whoa. So what's the plan for today? What have you actually got to do today?
I think it's going to be raining, so it'll be an indoor day. It's raining now. I've got to do more content for the website today. Continue some cleaning for my royal visit.
With the Easter holidays just around the corner, the couple are counting down to seeing one another again.
So what have we got?
2 days and 12 and a half hours.
2 sleeps.
It's either snow or sleet at the moment.
Marvellous.
Right then, switch into work mode.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
That gives me the boost to get through my 55th birthday in school and in parents' evening. Whoa, go me.
It's Easter, and Ivonne and Alan are finally reunited when Ivonne has a precious few days in Scotland.
This is a major treat having Ivonne here. It's amazing not having to do my own food.
And for me, it's just a joy to be back and actually be able to cook for you. It's joy. I was being asked down south before I came up, before I came home, what are you going to be doing with Alan? And I just say, I just want to do the normal things with Alan. I want to wake up and have a cup of tea in bed. I want to sit and watch a television programme. I want to have a glass of wine.
Enjoy things together.
All I want to do with Alan is have some normality in my life. That's what I crave.
But there's a problem. Alan has made a discovery that threatens to stop all their plans in their tracks. There are signs of badgers near where the lodges are due to be built. He takes Ivonne to show her.
The badgers are in this bank, just probably about 4 or 5 metres around the corner, so I guess about 7 metres away from where we're working.
In Scotland, wild badgers are protected, and construction work that would disturb their dwellings cannot take place. This will be a major problem if these badgers' home is too close to where they want to build the lodges for their business.
So we've looked at the plans again. So the worst case scenario is that we just can't use this end of the property at all. Saturday night wasn't a good night for either of us.
No, a bit sleepless,
Yeah, that was a difficult night for both of us because it's like, what's plan B? And at one point you even said to me, you said, will we get jobs? And I said, no, that's not what I've moved here for.
Coming up.
This looks as though there's been a bit of digging here in the long past.
Will the discovery of the badger set mean an end to their dreams?
A year ago, I thought that we'd have lodges open by now, that they would have customers in them.
And I find out if all the financial and emotional hardship has been worth it.
In my job, I knew what I was doing. I don't know what I'm doing at the moment. It's fascinating how much ghost is over there, isn't it, now? When you actually
Ivonne and Alan have spent the last 6 months living apart to finance their dream of running a tourism and holiday let business in the remote Scottish Highlands. But the discovery that badgers are living close to where they want to build the 2 lodges is threatening to bring all their dreams crashing down.
Because to have badgers on your, like a whole family of badgers on your land and you're in your garden kind of thing is lovely to have that wildlife. And we should be able to coexist with them, I think.
Hopeful that they can live together in harmony, Alan has called in expert badger ecologist Mick to find out where the badger's home, or set as it's known, is and how far from their proposed lodges.
There must be a bigger set closer by. You'll notice there's not any fresh marks here. I think the main set's going to be higher up than this. Oh, look, this looks promising. This bank up there, look.
OK.
This looks as though there's been a bit of digging here in the long past.
Yeah.
From what I can see, the disturbance zone's 30 metres. Now, you're not going to be 30 metres away, so you will need to do it under licence.
Right.
But we could actually do the work probably under my licence, which would save you a lot of heartache.
Brilliant. No, that's good.
Mick thinks the badger sets are far enough away for the construction work to pose no threat to them. But because the distance is less than 30 metres, the building work will have to be supervised by him to make sure they stay 100% safe.
It's sounding like good news. I'm relieved already, yeah. Yvonne's going to be well happy. All those scenarios we've talked about, I was running through those in my head. I'm feeling mightily relieved.
And there's more good news in late May. Their sale of their old house has gone through. With money in the bank, they can finally start building the lodges.
Now we can go ahead and put all our plans into place. It's brilliant news. Absolutely amazing.
But their relief is short-lived. A new problem hits them.
Another hurdle. We've got a problem with electrics. There's a telegraph pole that we can't build underneath or close to, within 10 metres of.
It's not permitted to build below overhead electricity cables, so Alan and Ivonne will have to pay to have these buried before they can go ahead.
The electric board have been round, they've done a site visit, and they need to submit plans and, more importantly, a quote. It feels like 2 steps forward, 1 back. I wouldn't be surprised if this moved it to an October opening, which would mean we'd miss the entire peak, we'd be opening well and truly in the shoulder season. I mean, this is going to be an expensive job, it will cost us thousands, but we kind of don't have much choice.
October would mean a 5-month delay to starting their new business. Alan's applying for jobs, but finding it tough to get work locally. And while Alan's busy trying to find a job, the end of June brings a massive day for Ivonne in Sussex. After 20 years as a food nutritionist teacher and 7 months living and working alone, she's leaving teaching for their new life in Scotland.
This is from all of us. You'll be sorely missed. Take care.
I'm free. I'm going up north. Business is wonderful and I'm super excited about that, but actually the biggest thing is actually about being back with Alan, and I cannot wait. It's just wonderful to be able to say next week we are living together again. It's wonderful. What a year. What a year.
At last the pair will be reunited, but the last year has been tough.
Alan and I have so learned over the last year. You get barrier after barrier after barrier and you just have to find a way.
However, to bury the electricity cables means money they haven't budgeted for.
We have to get an external contractor in to dig the trenches, and then the electricity goes under the ground. And so that, the planning permission couldn't go in until that was confirmed, and just under £11,000. Ouch. It is a lot, but we have to find a way. The dream, if we don't do it, then the dream goes.
But they do find a way. Alan's had some good news at last. He's been offered a job working from home, ironically, for the electricity board. But Alan's dream of opening in October is far from reality. It takes until then to sort the electrics and finally get their planning permission. With winter well on its way, it's a race against time to get the foundations for the lodges completed before temperatures drop and force work to stop yet again. By December, the foundation slabs are down and the lodges arrive. Work gets underway. The normal installation time is 5 weeks from start to finish.
What's next then? All right, here we go. The bedroom is the one which we've designated there. Okay, ready?
Yeah. Wouldn't be any more levellers in England, that'll do.
But harsh winter weather and another wave of COVID brings further delays on site.
A year ago, I thought that we'd have lodges open by now, that we'd have customers in them.
After so many setbacks for so long, I'm beginning to worry whether this couple will ever get their business and new life off the ground.
The last time I was here, Alan and Ivonne were living separately, running 2 houses, but trying to save every single penny. But they had grand plans to live a more adventurous life by building some Highland lodges here in this remote corner of Scotland. Now I'm back to find out what the last year had in store for them, and to find out whether they've been able to turn their Highland business dream into a reality. Alan!
Hi, Ben.
You're still here. This is a good sign. You haven't been blown away.
No, I've kept my feet on the ground. It's not been too bad, actually, up here.
I can't wait to see what you've done. I've seen lots of building materials, dumper truck. This is maybe a good sign?
This is a good sign. There's been a lot going on. Yeah, an awful lot.
Is Ivonne here?
She is, yeah.
Yes.
Come and meet her.
I get to meet her. View.
I never tire of this view, Ben. It's just amazing.
How stressful has it been to get to this point, though?
There's been a lot of sleepless nights.
Has there?
Yeah, there has.
Coming up, I get my first look at the lodges. I finally get to meet Ivonne in person.
How are you?
I'm really well, thank you. So nice to see you.
And I find out if it's all been worth it.
You've had pandemics, delays, rising costs, all of these things. Any regrets?
I'm in the Scottish Highlands, 1 year after I met Ivonne and Alan.
Wow, wow.
Who had grand plans to build from scratch a remote holiday business from their home. I'm back more than a year since I first met them to find out if they've finally got their lodges built. And it's a yes. They look magnificent in the landscape.
After you.
Shoes off?
Yes, please.
Oh, Ivonne, how are you?
I'm very well, how are you?
Finally get to meet you in person.
I know.
How are you?
I'm really well, thank you. So nice to see you.
Look at this. Oh my gosh, are you happy?
Oh, ecstatic.
Alan still has his job working from home, but it's 10 months since Ivonne retired from teaching.
So how do you divvy up the roles now?
So we've swapped, completely swapped.
So since July, I've been working.
Okay.
So work from home here. It's like handing the baton over. There's still a lot of things I do, but operationally, it's Yvonne's baby.
That wasn't the plan, so I've been promoted from cleaner to managing director.
So does that mean that these have been your vision? Have you been responsible for kitting these all out and finishing them?
Inside, yes.
So we've got a lovely little kitchen area here.
Yep.
Dining table, this extraordinary view out there.
Just beautiful, isn't it? And so peaceful. It's so peaceful. That's the USP. You come here to stop, you come here to unwind, and you come here to just put your feet up.
Look at this beautiful picture window.
We love this window. Look down there and you'll see the sunrise in the morning. They just completely blown any other sunrises away I've seen. It's tremendous.
And then you get the lovely twinkling stars at night, the lovely clear sky. It's just beautiful.
Yeah.
And you'll see the sunset through the windows here over the back of the hill, and the colours are just stunning.
Do you think in some ways it benefited having a bit of time here to observe and work out maybe how these would work best?
I think that is really true. Yeah, because you see the season changes and sunsets that side. And yes, it's really influenced these. Yeah.
And the decking has been a real bonus. That's a real plus. Delighted with that. That's just going to be amazing in the summer.
And is this the bedroom?
It is.
Very nice.
Thank you.
I like your style.
Tried to keep it simple, tried to keep it Highlands, and tried to keep it Scottish.
And I love the fact as soon as you come out here, all I can see through the picture window and the big doors is just the landscape. It's what it's all about.
It is exactly what it's about.
The landscape and living in the countryside is what Alan and Ivonne came here for. But getting the business up and running has taken more than a year and been fraught with pitfalls. I want to know how they feel about it.
How different has this been to your previous job as a teacher?
It's been terrifying. There's no other word for it. It's terrifying. Because when you're teaching, you are in control. There's many a times I have not felt in control. Just like, what are we doing? You'll get a problem and you have to work it out. It's like deliveries. How are we going to get that sofa bed to the Highlands?
I'm imagining for a lot of people looking at this, they might live in a city where you go online and you can get a chair delivered almost overnight. I'm imagining that's not the case here in the Highlands.
Oh my God, it's most definitely not.
In my job, I knew what I was doing. I don't know what I'm doing at the moment, but I'm learning.
Well, guys, I think this is a triumph. I'm going to take in this view again. How beautiful is that?
Imagine just sitting having your breakfast, watching the world go by.
What still needs to be done in here?
There's a bit of furniture. Perhaps you might help us bring some down there.
Do you know what? I shouldn't have asked that, should I? Okay.
Right.
So this is what you want to move. Now I know why you invited me up here.
Well, we need some muscle power.
Yeah, exactly. Is this going to fit?
Well, this is the question. I hope it does. I think we've got a lucky break in the rain, actually.
It's almost sunny.
Yeah, almost.
I just hope it fits through those doors.
I think it'll fit through the doors.
It's where it goes once it's in there.
Exactly, yeah. OK, you mind the step?
Yep, I got it. For action, yeah, there we go. It's good.
crikey.
Okay, what do you think?
I think
Tight?
it's tight, but I think it fits.
That must be a relief.
This is an enormous relief because finding someone that supplies all this furniture that will deliver it up here is really hard. We actually had to get a whole pallet of stuff.
What, to make the economies of scale work?
Yeah, exactly.
Have you been forced to be a little bit more creative with how you do things?
We've definitely been having to be creative, really, and you've got to kind of roll with things as well. You know, we make the odd mistakes and things, and you can't take it to heart. It's just another problem to solve, and we solve it.
I can see that Alan's got to grips with living the Highland lifestyle. But I wonder how things are for Ivonne. She's taken on the job of finishing the lodges. But part of her dream was always, after teaching home economics for decades, to put her knowledge into practice as a sideline business.
So this is bringing a little bit of home economics to the Highlands.
It is. This is my future. This is what... See, if you would like to come up and stay in the lodges and then bring the children, I'll keep the children for you, I'll cook with them, and I'll make their lunch, and you can go for a walk.
I love that. Well, I'm going to be your student now. What are we going to make?
So we're going to make scones. So basically, I've started rubbing in your fat into your flour.
How long did you teach home economics for?
I was teaching for 20 years. Loved it.
And you obviously carried on teaching for part of the move up here, when I was last here.
Yes, I think that was the right decision, but it was incredibly hard. It was, Alan and I have never been apart for that time, and making decisions apart and telephone calls and all your birthdays and everything like that, it's very hard.
Were there tears?
Oh, lots. Lots, Ben. Right, are you ready?
I think
all
so.
The lumps gone?
I think so. Let me just make sure, because I don't want to mess this one up, not in front of teacher. Do you enjoy living so far away now?
I feel like I've got the best of both worlds now. I've still got the people, but I've got the space and the tranquility and the peace, and I've got the fresh air. It's the fresh air that fascinates me.
Ivonne is preaching to the converted. I can't wait to experience their wild surroundings and Alan's tour guide skills.
A nice flowy Scottish beach day. How about if I now become a tourist? Do you fancy a bit of guiding?
So Dornoch Firth is carved out by one of the last ice ages out of the granite, and it used to be the Norwegian Vikings had all this as Sutherland. There's a church up there, it's got Viking graves, and there's a 13th century fort just overlooks the Firth, just around the corner.
This is presumably what it's all about. Coming out, enjoying Scotland, the Highlands.
Freedom.
Space, fresh air, it's just glorious, it's just wonderful.
Have you had enough time to actually enjoy this and make the most of it?
We make a point of actually doing that. We actually plan time into downtime. I think it's really important. We actually had a really special walk here a few weeks ago, didn't we? Weather was slightly better. It was beautiful sunshine, t-shirts, and it's those special times. I think it's really important actually we have time together as well.
We've got a list this long of places to go that we've not been to yet, and we've just been to so many places. It's just stunning. It really is.
So when do you hope to get your first guests?
We're hoping to get our first guests at the beginning of July. So we just opened the website, so it's early days.
Because we don't want to cause any disappointment. We don't want to start like that. So July means that absolutely everything will be, we hope, spot on.
You've had pandemics, delays, rising costs, all of these things. Any regrets?
No regrets.
No regrets. None whatsoever.
I just love this place. I really do.
Well done, guys. I'm so impressed. It's been quite a journey.
It certainly has.
I've been rooting for you, and I'm so glad that you've reached this point with smiles on your faces. There's no such thing as an easy adventure. This has been quite a journey for both of them. They've had that forced time apart, but finally all of the jigsaw pieces are in place, and I really do wish both Alan and Ivonne the best in the future, because they deserve it.